You look back 10, promise you'll be a way further ahead of where you thought. Because 0.001% growth, you don't feel it.
You don't feel it, no.
You don't feel it,
It feels
bro.
so slow.
Yeah.
But if you look, 5 years later, 10 years later, bro, you definitely got somewhere.
You compound that as the
Yeah.
time goes.
Because what's the other choice? The other choice is you try it for 6 months, you give up. Try something else for 3 months, you give up. Try something else for 1 year, you give up. Every time you give up, where do you end up? Zero.
Back to the same place.
Zero.
Yeah. And then how did you build that discipline to like just focus on what you're doing step by step? Because I know a lot of people start and then they see a small growth in like 4 years. They're like, okay, this is not for me. We're not doing it. They quit. How did you manage it?
Yeah, so our story was kind of the same. Zayn and I, we worked a long time without really paying ourselves. Like a really long time. I think first 3 or 4 years of our company, we barely paid ourselves. And I think maybe third year, I was making like maybe $50,000 a year, which, like I didn't really need much. I was living at home and stuff, but
It's awesome.
it was hard, fighting every single day is so hard to build something and like not really seeing a return from it. And it wasn't that I wasn't seeing a return, I guess, because I was seeing a return that the company was growing, right? We went from like a really small building this size or office or shop this size to 3 times the space in Santa Ana. We moved the shop and grew into a shop that was 3 times bigger. Then that shop into Orange, which was 3 times bigger than that shop. So we would pick up all our stuff, move into that shop, pick up all our stuff, move into the new shop. And so I was seeing results, but I wasn't really seeing personal income, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, when do I get to see that part, And obviously once we grew to a certain size, then it's like, okay, we're comfortable. Like now we're getting the income that we need, that we can pay ourselves a decent amount. And that's how I did it. As far as like how to stay focused, honestly, it really is a generic answer, but just discipline. You asked how to stay disciplined, and I'm explaining it back to you, saying stay disciplined, but stop distracting yourself, right? Like stay away from like these viruses of social media. Stay away from, like I said, these people making up stories about how many hundreds of thousands they're making every month, right? Stop thinking about those things. Everybody has a different path, and understand that like if you believe that you are on the right path for yourself, forget what everyone else is doing. Forget what everyone else is doing, because those same people that are selling you on that stuff right now, 6 months later, they're doing something else too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's also true.
And so be careful like who you listen to. Be careful like what opportunities you take risks with. Sometimes the risks aren't worth it, Like sometimes like the lower risk, they always say, oh, take risks. Oh, scared money don't make no money.
Yeah.
Bro, here's the thing. If you keep taking risks all the time, one day, sooner or later, you are bound to lose. That's what risk is. Risk is that there's a chance that you're going to lose.
Yeah.
So, my main thing is stay focused on what I see a high percentage of, success rate in, and a low percentage of risk. Keep following that path. If you could try to risk little things here and there on the side, try it, But stay focused on the path that you see a high success rate in, even if it's like a slow growth, and just keep going.
That's such a good way to explain it. There's like, the question that I have from you is that obviously you've had a lot of people see your growth, throughout that period, I'm sure there was a lot of people saying, good job, keep going. But the minute that you got better than them, they started coming at you in a whole different mindset, right?
100%.
So I would like to ask you is, one, what stopped you from getting discouraged and continuing what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Shiny objects, right? And what stopped you, what kept you going when somebody like maybe a family member or a friend kept telling you this doesn't make sense? Who's going to, why would you want to go into cars? Mechanic shops have been a thing for 50, 60, 70 years, right?
Exactly.
So like, what makes you think you're different? What stopped you from just saying, okay, no, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing my thing, even though every negative thing you're saying, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah. So in my opinion, there's 2 types of people that tell you like, why are you doing this? Or ask you like, are you sure? Why are you doing this? It's not the best idea. There's a type like my mom who loves me, who cares about me, who sees a 21-year-old kid, because 21-year-old, you're a kid. You don't really know much about the way the world works at that moment, right? So she sees worry. She's like, no, go to school, become an engineer, that side. Then you have the other side. You see the people who are telling you that out of jealousy, not out of care, out of jealousy, because they're worried that you might get further than wherever they are.
Correct.
They're going to school maybe, and they see that you're doing your business. They're like, dude, what are you doing? You're a bum, bro. You're leaving school. You're a bum, So my whole thing is this. Your mom, your dad, your family, if they truly care about you, they're gonna tell you this, bro. At the age of 19, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like 95% of 19-year-olds do not know. Can I cuss? Can I cuss or not?
Absolutely.
They don't know jack shit, bro. They don't know shit. They don't know shit. Okay. Most 19-year-olds don't know shit and believe in their mind that they do. They do believe that I am this, I am that. But then the question I always ask to those kids is like, what have you done to believe this? Have you gotten like, were you top 1% in your school? Not saying that that's a definitive factor of somebody who's going to be successful, but it's an achievement.